This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, we still have people coming on in. It's all good. It's all good. I just want to make sure. There we go. So welcome everybody to the last Friends Becoming Neighbors meeting of 2024. Wow, I can't believe it's December already. And it's so good to see old friends, new friends, great neighbors. And we've got a lot of stuff to do tonight. We've got to catch up with everybody. We're going to flip this around a little bit. I have we got people still coming on in. We have a bunch of we have a guest this evening, and we're going to have him come on in a few minutes. I just wanted to go over with a couple of things beforehand because people have been asking a lot of questions about a bunch of different things, and we'll have time to do that afterwards. So I just want to make sure before we get started, everybody has some kind of drink of choice, so that we can celebrate that we're all celebrating a happy holiday. Show of hands, how many people will be here for the POA meeting that don't live here? Yeah. I love it. So how many people, raise your hands, how many people were not living here last year for the POA meeting? Interesting. Okay. So it's going to be a really great weekend. For those of you who were asking, there's actually 3 days of events going on. So Friday night, I believe at the clubhouse, it's under they're lighting the tree, and then from 4 to 8, I believe it's like a BYOB holiday Santa. The kids are going to there's going to be presents for kids and stuff, and everybody's invited to that. So if you are going to be in town for the POA, you're certainly welcome to come. We still have more people coming on in. I'm looking to see if I did. So everything is in the calendar. So everybody should have all of that information. Is there anybody here who is not on the Bluffs community website? Has everybody into the owner's portal? Has all their information in there? Okay, so you should be able to find all of that stuff. There's been a lot of questions going back and forth, and a lot of people, and I'm happy to answer questions all the time or try to help you get answers. One of the most important things is your best, and I put this in here, your best way of getting the right information the most quickly is to send an email to poa@thebluffs.com. And I put this in here. And that goes to Pat Nicoletti, who is Doug's assistant. And she usually answers pretty quickly. And that's anything that has to do with anything covenant related or about how to get something that you can't find or some information that you can't find. I just want to make sure that everybody gets that information and that it's correct, because I'm getting a lot of questions like, oh, somebody told me this, or I saw this on Facebook, or I saw this someplace else and I tried that and it didn't work, or it's wrong. I'm always happy to answer questions. There are plenty of us here that if I don't have the answer, I usually go to Pat. So Pat works upstairs in the sales office, and she's totally, really accessible. If you are here for the POA meeting and you have not yet met her, certainly stop in and say hello. The other thing that I wanted to share is that the top link, I got, for those who, raise your hands, how many people have stayed in the Best Western when they come to town? You've never stayed in the Best Western? The Best Western is fab. They have the best breakfast, and everyone kept talking about this breakfast at the Best Western. And I'm not normally a breakfast person, but I will tell you it is worth the price of the room for this breakfast. So I went to Mark and said, why do we not have a discount code for the Best Western? So in your chat, you will see now the discount code for the Best Western. So if you are coming into town, certainly go on there, and it gives us a really great rate. So that's um, up over here on the right. The next thing that I wanted to share with
What
everyone,
is, sorry, what is this Best Western?
the Best Western is a hotel. Let me
No,
share.
I know, but where it's located.
It's located in Leland. It's right in Leland. It's what, about 15 minutes? It's right near the Walmart on 17. So it's really well located to the property. So I know
Okay,
that when Michael and I first started coming down, we were staying at the Ballast. The Bluffs also has a Ballast corporate rate that you can get if you want to be downtown. So if you need any of the other information about the other places, you can certainly just reach out to me and I can send you links so that you guys can save some money on doing that. This way we get you down here more than you're planning on coming before.
Yeah, I
Um,
stayed at the Home Sweet Wood downtown, and I definitely don't recommend that hotel, that for sure.
so yeah, the Best Western, we really enjoy it. We've always had a really great experience over there. It's super easy to get in and out of. It's right near all the Leland restaurants and everything else. So that's definitely a great new opportunity for all of us. The other thing,
Robin, just a
yes,
minute. I'm sorry to interrupt. I clicked on the link and I don't see a code. It takes me to the Best Western site.
that's a special site with our corporate rate attached to it. So that will
okay.
automatically take you to the price through the corporate because it has the corporate code in it.
Okay, so we always have to go through to reserve through this link.
To get the best rate. Now, the other thing you can always, if you call, you have to call the actual hotel because Best Western Corporate's not going to have our rate. Or just ask me for it and I'll be more than happy to send it back over to you.
Okay, thank you.
You are more than welcome. Couple of other things that are in here. People have been asking me some other questions. We'll go over those a little bit later. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that's going on here, there is a form that goes right to the POA, which I've left here. I've also done this document. Hold on a second. I'm going to share my screen. Am I going to share my screen? Because I have everything's too big. Hold on just 1 second. Because I just want to do this for 1 minute. Okay. Share. Okay. Now you see all my stuff. Okay. So this document. So here is the code. You'll see that the code is up here. This is the special rate. So you'll have that. For anybody that doesn't know, this is where you're going to find everything. So you're going to find your community calendar. So if you're looking for any events, that's in there. We don't need all this stuff. This is where you're going to get a lot of your information, the emails for the people for the POA, any information for the gatehouse. And Brian, we're going to talk about Ubers and things like that. If you need to get a hold of Mark in the sales office for any other rates for any of the other places, this is where you're going to find all of this information. So that link is in here as well. All right, so I'm going to stop the share of that. And then I just left you the information for Pat Nicoletti. So we have a guest speaker this evening, and I am going to introduce him to you right now. He's going to do a little presentation to everybody, so feel free to ask questions. And I would like to introduce Luke from Luke's Furniture Company in Wilmington. And he's going to give us some information about his fabulous company. So take it away, Luke.
Well, hello, and thank you for the opportunity to come on and talk to y'all for a few minutes. I'm Luke Cole. My company, called Luke's Furniture Company. And well, it's located in Wilmington. I've been Leland since 2013. Right now I live in Mallory Creek. So Leland is really my neighborhood. And I love the Bluffs. Every time I go to the Bluffs, I just think it's gorgeous, and it is really exploding right now, which is awesome. Let me share my screen. I put together a little bit of a slideshow. So yeah, basically Luke's Furniture Company, but I am not a furniture store. I build custom wood furniture. And so 10 years ago, I started it out of my garage, just building things here and there after my daughter was born. Back then, it was much more like your ultra rustic farmhouse type pieces. But 10 years later, now I'm doing much more luxury furniture, dining tables, built-ins, whatever wood furniture that you need. And then I also collaborate with upholsterers and metalsmiths and things to do some other cool stuff. So basically, it's all handcrafted. My goal is to build each piece to the level of quality that it can be passed down as an heirloom piece. And I design it specifically for your home. So while I do have certain just popular styles, even each style, choosing different types of wood, different types of modifications we can do, really make it tailored to your home. Whether I come in and look at the space or we do a consult at my workshop and studio, when people show me pictures, oftentimes from the start, I'll say, this is exactly what I think based on the concentric patterns I see, the metals I see, the colors I see, you know, the maybe missing a little bit of warmth. And so oftentimes people are worried about the design process, and we can go all different directions. But I typically walk into a space and have one or two ideas just right off the bat. So I wanted to just play this in fun little video, but everything's built from raw rough cut wood, so there are a ton of possibilities. This is a live edge walnut table. I always say the most satisfying part of my job is oiling a walnut table, watching it go from that kind of plain look to this is just awesome. And so yeah, it gives us tons of flexibility because everything is done from rough cut wood, and that's just turned into a beautiful piece of furniture. So a lot of times people, you know, they just wonder where do we even start? I've done this 10 years. I've tried to make it as simple of a process as possible while allowing it to become more complex when people want it to be more complex. But generally, step one is you choose a style. Style, depending on what type of furniture. Dining tables, dining sets are my bread and butter. It's what I do the most of because it's the piece people generally are looking to have as really a statement piece. But I'll talk a little bit more about my range as well. But dining tables, they tend to be the centerpiece of your home for many decades. The TV became the centerpiece of sort of the American home, but now with the way that they're building houses again with great rooms, it's kind of coming back to dining tables and islands really being the centerpiece again. So if there's any one piece that will absolutely transform the space by just making sure that it is really, really a bold, wow piece, it's going to be your dining table. And so, you know, if you look at my website, and I'll put that up at the end, there's my signature styles, which are certain styles that people have just loved over the years. And so some of these on here are those styles. In this group right now, I've got this style in somebody's home, this style in somebody's home, and then this is basically exactly what Robin's going to be getting here in a few weeks. It's finished in my shop. We're just waiting on some chairs to go with it. And so oftentimes people pick a style and say, I love that. How do we modify it to make it perfectly fit our house? Other times it's let's come up with something totally unique. And then I also have a chair program. And so while I don't build the chairs, I partner with a shop. I can get matching chairs. And when you take like a table out of something as gorgeous as walnut and you put it along with a walnut chairs, that's what really makes it look like an heirloom set. And so we can just really, really make something pretty. Another piece I always like to point out about any of my tables is they're built to be used. I have a 10-year-old. I have dogs. I want to make sure that it's family friendly, pet friendly. And so any table I sell, you don't have to use coasters, placemats, anything like that. It is just gonna be stain resistant, water resistant, chemical resistant, and really just built to be used. I'm using totally different types of finishing than what you find on the mass market. Then accent, all different types of accent pieces. Bar cabinets have been huge lately, just doing kind of these really interesting incorporated wine fridges and storage for glassware and different things. And I did some floating shelves on that one so they could display some of their collector's bottles. But pretty much any piece that you're thinking, this is a wood piece that I need done. I would love to help you come up with something really interesting. The next step is going to be choosing a wood. So I want to talk about a couple of different types. This was just a gorgeous piece that I did for a home bar down in Southport. That's a wood called spalted maple. And so sometimes the different types of wood can be boring. Trying to get it to, all right. But I tend to steer people towards different types of wood that are just really going to shine, really going to show off their natural color. So the video I just showed you is spalted maple. And then this is one called ambrosia maple. Really cool, bold woods. They look great in a dining table. A lot of people like to use them for smaller accent pieces, but they're actually both caused by a fungus. So you have a maple tree in these managed protected forests. It gets attacked by the spalting fungus or the ambrosia beetle, which brings in a fungus on its feet when it drills in to the tree to lay eggs. And the spalted maple leaves these just kind of dark streaks and these smoky grayish blue patterns. And then the ambrosia maple gets these bluish gray streaks, which make it's a really great way of adding a coastal touch without being beachy. And that's a major design challenge when people move here is they want to be coastal, but they don't want seahorses and seashells everywhere. They're trying to figure out subtle ways of doing it. The bluish gray streaks naturally in this wood are a cool way of doing that. It's also more sustainable because that tree has to come down to protect the other trees from the spalting fungus and the beetles, not because of the increased demand. Maple is kind of the go-to. Sorry about that. Where the wood itself is almost white, and so you stain it to be almost any color, but it's just got a really, really pretty look to it. And a lot of people look at this picture and my maple tables and they say, that's not what I remember maple looking like. That's because when you had that 1990s maple kind of mass produced, they do a whole bunch of stuff to zap all the character out of it because in large production, they just need it to all look the same. Whereas I finish it everything in a way that tries to let that natural character shine. Walnut gives you an absolute wow factor. Red oak and white oak are a little more classic, along with mahogany. And each wood, that's why I love to see the space or see lots of pictures of the space, because a different wood you can put it on the same table and it can just go in so many different directions. From there, picking size and modifications, people are always asking about extensions. I do offer extensions, but actually the majority of the time when somebody says, this is what we want to seat 6 people regularly, and then we want to be able to seat 8 for Sunday dinners. Oftentimes there's just the perfect size that's going to allow you to do both those things without necessarily needing to add in extensions. The only downside of extensions is if you have a nice solid wood tabletop, in order to add extensions, you're making cuts and things. But there are a variety of ways to do it to kind of meet your needs. Some other, this is built-in cabinets like this. Usually, if you're moving into a newer home, you're not. A lot of that stuff is already done. Hall trees are a popular one to help declutter a mudroom. And so if anybody is looking to have any pieces built for their new homes, or if you're already in your home and you're looking at that space, or you're looking at that old piece that you've been meaning to get around to fixing or to replacing, give me a call. I've got a QR code here for to just book a meeting. I will be around this weekend. Though if the book a meeting app doesn't include weekends, so you would just give me a call and then we could set up an appointment. And then it can either be I do in-home design consults, and then I also have my a studio, and then the workshop that we can meet at as well. And people love that, to see finished pieces and all the pieces that I'm working on, things like that. This one and both of these are, if you go to the website, you can get links right on the homepage, but I've also got an instant quote tool where you can just go in and play around with, well, what if I want to do this, and then kind of get a price or a small price range. And then sometimes it'll show you like what are the things that are affecting that. Because sometimes somebody will see the price and realize that something that's really expensive is not that important to them. But so those are great ways that's a great way to kind of play around with some different ideas. And then you follow me on Facebook or Instagram at Luke's Furniture Co. I post a lot of articles and blogs I write about design challenges and some of the issues we run into trying to make a beautiful home specifically in this area. And one of the biggest challenges that I've become an expert at helping design around is when people want to bring that sentimental piece with them, and then it's very traditional looking, and then they're trying to figure out how to merge it with their more clean contemporary designs theme that they're trying to bring down here. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to answer any questions if anybody has some general questions. But of course, if you have a lot of specific questions, then feel free to book a meeting or give me a call at another time.
What's your normal kind of turnaround time?
Turnaround time tends to be 3 to 4 months. That does vary. The largest is like 2 to 6 months is where, if things are a little bit slower and I'm able to catch up, might be closer to 2. And then certain times, like, back in COVID, it was up closer to 6. Go ahead.
Done any epoxy fill tables?
Yeah. So that's called a river table. And so I've done those particularly with dining tables, and then they're popular with coffee tables as well. Those are obviously really, really cool. So usually you'll do that by taking live edge slabs, natural edge slabs, and then you use the natural edge of the tree as the river banks, which is a really cool look.
Okay. What are you talking about?
I'll show you something.
My husband's wheels are turning, so that scares me.
No, they're really beautiful. Rosie, what kind of wood did you choose for your table?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. I have the maple ambrosia, and I was just going to say, if anybody wants to stop by and come look at it, it turned out just gorgeous. And then Luke, I had another piece that I brought down from home, but it wasn't going to go. But Luke painted it for me to go in with the dining room table, and it turned out beautiful as well. So, I live at 3939 Flint Rock, so you can text me or get up with me or come knock on my door. But feel free just to come by and look at it. It's beautiful, very, very, very pretty. So.
And then we paired it with the walnut chairs.
Yes.
Yeah, which
Cool.
was so you got a nice contrast with two.
I'm at my my daughter's house tonight, so I can't show it to you. But yeah, but I'll, feel free to come by and look at it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, awesome. I will be knocking on your I will be knocking on your door. So I highly encourage you to come and go and take a visit, make an appointment to go into the shop, because it's really cool to be able to go and actually see where the magic is made. And also take a look at all the different kinds of woods. It's hard. It's a lot easier to just walk into a store and say, oh, I like that one, except that once you have the opportunity to custom make it. Michael, do you want to share why we needed to do a custom table?
Sure, because I'm 6'4" and my knees hit every single table, and I'm always crashing into the legs and so forth. So we shopped around to different stores and we saw some things that maybe would work. And then we also, in our dining area, wanted a certain shape and we wanted a certain size. And it ended up not being an off-the-shelf solution. So we went in and we made an appointment with Luke and we went to the shop and he spent time with us. We talked all about what we were trying to achieve. We showed him where it was going to be. Robin had plans with us, and Luke showed us all the different types of wood that we could use, and we toyed around with a few ideas. And then ultimately, we came up with a design for the tabletop. We came up with a design for the legs of the table. Instead of just having 4 legs or a simple pedestal, there's a certain design that we chose. And then, of course, the same thing happened with the chairs. We can't find chairs. I'm 6'4", Robin's a foot shorter, and we can never find chairs that we all fit in and feel comfortable in. But Luke happened to have in his shop some chairs that he was making for another client. So he invited us into the back, and we sat down in the chairs, and bingo! It was like, wow, these are really comfortable. And they're really nice looking, and it's going to go with our set. And then Robin sat in the chair. It was a whole process. We were there. We took up probably a few hours of your time, Luke. I think we were there, but it was worth it because it gave us the opportunity to find what we want, and we're really excited. I know we're only like about a week away from table, and I know chairs are coming. So probably by January, Robin and I will be set up with a brand new dining room set, and we're really excited.
No, it's very exciting, and one of the other things is it gives you different ideas, and I think that to Luke's credit, he has the ability to draw very quickly, but also he's done so much of it, and this comes from the consumer side, is that we didn't feel that we were, a lot of times we go into a store or place and they all keep trying to fit Michael under a table and his knees just don't fit or his feet just don't fit. And we didn't have to do that because Luke just said, so we'll just make it a half an inch higher. Not a big deal. Or we'll just make that a half an inch lower. So, that was really important to us. But the opportunity to create something that didn't exist before is very cool. Yeah, anybody else have any?
Wait,
go ahead.
Rob, the other thing is that I wanted to add is, look, Luke's going to design something for you, and every table is going to be a different price point depending upon the design and the wood and the finish and so forth. And after Robin and I ordered our table, we gave Luke the down payment. He started working on it. And then every once in a while, when we're out shopping and we happen to be going through some department that has a dining room table, what do? We go back and we say, wait, let's look at this table. We still like our table much better. And then we compare the price. And you know what? Luke's prices were pretty much in line with what you would find on the floor of a furniture showroom. And Robin and I have been into a bunch of them. So we were really pleased that at this point, we really feel like we made a good decision.
Well, we know we did. So nothing like being spoken about in front of you, huh, Luke? But
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have an open house and everybody can come and visit my table and visit our table. But anybody have any other questions or anything? So I highly recommend if you're in town, even if you're not in town, for this particular weekend. But if you're starting to look, definitely make an appointment. He's super easy to find for the most part. And why don't you just give them your address so that they know where you're located?
So the address is 3871 US Highway 421 North. So a little bit of a jumble, and that's in Wilmington. But if you forget that, type in Luke's Furniture Company to Google or Apple Maps. That'll get you there. If you forget the name of the company, or like it's some guy's name, type in Custom Furniture Wilmington, and I will be one of the top 3 things that pop up. Not a whole lot of people that do this, and other than doing it on the side as a side gig, things like that. And so if you are trying to think or Custom Tables Wilmington, I think I'm number 1 on that. And so fairly easy to find if you are needing that. But
all right, awesome. So yeah, we'll make sure. Luke, why don't you just leave it, because you'll get it on the recording. But why don't you just like throw your phone number, your name and phone number into the chat, just in case, because this way we'll be able to save it for everybody. Anybody else have any other questions for him right now?
I just want to say we had Luke make a table for us, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The ambrosia maple, it's just stunning in person. I don't know, Robin, if you still have
that you're here.
Yeah, that picture that I sent you, I don't know if you can put that up on the screen at all or not. The one I sent you of our table.
Luke, did you get a picture from Marcia?
No, I sent it to you, Robin. That one I
sent you. Oh, you sent it to me?
Yeah, remember I sent you that text last
week, yes. Let me see. Yeah. So, it was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. Let me see if I can put it up. I will do that.
Okay.
Because I have it on my phone.
Where?
I said, "Where's Rocco?"
I may be able to do that. So, and Marcia, I'm going to look for it.
Okay.
In a minute, because I just want to say, so if nobody else has anything for Luke, is there anything else that you want to share with anyone?
I was going to say hi to Marcia because I saw her back there. Hope you're enjoying it. I think
I am.
Your cushions, I think either your cushions are holding up Robin's chairs, or Robin's chairs are holding up your cushions. So it should come in at about the same time.
Yeah, we'll be back down in January, so hopefully they'll be in by then.
Yeah, the chairs are from an Amish supplier who literally doesn't use electricity, so my sales rep has to mail him anytime I ask a question. Beautiful, incredible stuff that they do, but a little tough to communicate with. But yeah, I mean, I look forward to being able to help anybody with their houses, but definitely a few months ahead of time. And then if sometimes people will meet with me 10 months ahead of time, and that's fine. I'm not going I'm not going to build your table until you're getting close to closing. You can get on the schedule, and then I'll just move it. I do have employees, but I'm not a huge operation, so I have a lot of flexibility with that.
All right, I'm just going to do this while you're still here.
No.
That is Marcia's table. Can you guys see it?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So hopefully Rosie will the next thing Rosie will send a picture, and we'll put a picture of her table up there as well. So it's all good. So we thank you for being here. If anybody else,
thank you for having
definitely
me.
give Luke a call. But as soon as you want, you can go see Rosie's table. When Marcia's down here, and hopefully you guys can come visit my table sometime in January. And it's all good. It's all good.
I've probably got 6 or 7 others around the Bluffs over the years as well. But I can't think specifically of the names, but
nowhere. I'm sure, because people have been texting me and saying, oh my God, how did you find him? Because that was what Marcia said. How did you know him? So you're going to be one of the best kept non-secrets around. But we thank you for sharing everything with us tonight, and just have a happy and a healthy holiday. And hopefully I'll hear from you soon about the chairs.
All right. Yeah. And for those of you moving here, congratulations and welcome. It's awesome. Been here for 12 years.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
So we hope, and it's exciting to hear about everybody and beautiful, beautiful tables and chairs. I have a wish list. So we have some new folks here. I I want to make sure that anybody that is brand new to our group, Regina, is this your first meeting? Your second one? Okay. Eleonora, you're new to our group.
Yes, I am.
So would you just introduce yourself, please, and let us know what's going on with you?
Yes, so I'm Dr. Eleonora Gafton, and I'm currently living in Virginia. And yeah, I need to start my retirement calendar. So I'm hoping that in the next 2 years, so I'm finishing up this school year. I'm a full-ranked professor. So I teach at 3 universities, at Maryland University of Integrative Health, at Georgetown University, and at Purdue Global, all in the nutrition field. So I'm approaching retirement, and I've been down to Wilmington several times, and I just love the area. And this past summer, I took a drive through the bluffs, and I absolutely fell in love. So I looked around Duke University. So I went Chapel Hill. I went to Charlotte, and but then I took the tour at the bluffs, and it's like I think that this is where I belong. And so I did buy a little parcel. So it's still the little parcel there. So, I was down just end of November at the design studio. So I'm working with True Homes. So we picked out the model, picked up all the interior design. So it was quite stressful, needless to say.
We've all been through it. Eleanor, where is your lot?
It's on I should know, 3751, I believe, Rivergate West, Northwest. Yeah. Rivergate.
You're on Rivergate.
Yeah, I'm very close to the newly and improved clubhouse. So,
okay.
And then I understand that they are building a dog park, and I see quite a few furry friends. So I do have a little Biji Poo, my COVID partner. So because since COVID hit, we went completely virtual teaching. So it's a whole new ball game for sure. So I spend plenty of time on Zoom and Teams and Google Meet, you name it, because God forbid there is only one platform. No, there are several. So.
No, absolutely. So do you have an idea of when you might be moving in?
Well, like I said, we just signed
okay.
a lot of forms and contracts and everything. So I believe that they will start prepping the ground or whatever in January or February, some say, but they say, anytime 6 to 8 months. So.
Okay, terrific. Well, welcome to the community. And are you coming for the POA meeting? You coming this weekend?
No, I have a full load of teaching. So we are, because of the 3 different universities, they all have different schedules. So, but my full-time ranked faculty, it's so we are closing down the semester and have to prepare my courses for spring. So
no worries. But if you and again, we'll have a conversation. You and I'll have a conversation maybe during your break that we have plenty of people who are happy to take pictures of things in case you're not getting enough pictures. We've all been through this, right? And we all try to help each other out by taking pictures of everybody else's build. So it's definitely
quite stressful. I mean, but it's like, also, and it's so of course I'm not born and raised in this country, but ever since I came to this country, so I grew up on a farm and a winery and all that good stuff. So, but ever since I came to this country, I always lived in a condominium. So this is going to be a major shift.
No, absolutely. Well, certainly welcome. So, Nancy, what's been going on with you?
Hi.
Hi.
We are anxious. We're coming down on Friday, spending the weekend through Monday. Anxious to see our house. We lost Andrew, so we have a new project manager, Terry, that will be hopefully meeting this weekend. So I think the outside of the house is pretty much buttoned up. I hope. So that's what we'll be looking at. And I think drywall inspection will be right around the corner.
Very cool. We'd be happy to see you.
Yeah, happy to see you too.
Yeah,
Nancy, who are you using as the builder?
AR Homes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on Belmead. We're the first lot on the left on Belmead.
I pass by it every time I leave my house. It's
You need
wonderful.
to send me pictures since Andrew's gone. I don't get pictures very often.
You'll get pictures. I'll send you. I promise. I'll
Thank
send you
you.
pictures. You'll be here. Don, what's been going on with you?
Hi.
Hi.
Well, we are hopefully going to break ground in the next few weeks. Fingers crossed by the end of this year. So that'll be great. Our lot is located up on Dockview Court. It's in phase 5, not far from the boat launch there. So we visit there, every couple of days because Teresa and I are both retired and we live in an apartment in Leland. So it's an easy trip up to visit our property and go to events like this and get to know people. So hi, everybody.
Hello. So the Riegers, how are you guys doing?
Hi.
Hi.
We're doing great. Beat the traffic. We're home now.
Yay.
No, this is the background of our car. We're still in traffic.
We actually have big news. So back in August, you want to tell them?
Well, I retired.
Yay.
So I feed up, annoying her every day, saying, "What do you want me to do?" I'm also the administrative assistant in our house, and happily doing so because I don't have to work and I have no responsibilities for that sort of thing. But Tina also has the retirement countdown app and is what your
My app says I have 0 years, 6 months, 18 days, 0 hours, 20 minutes, and 39, 38, 37, 36 seconds.
But who's counting? But who's counting?
Who's counting?
Oh, that's so exciting. That's so exciting.
And we heard this week that they are staking out our lot. The POA, I guess the POA.
Yeah, I think they're finalizing plans with them, and they hope to have it all finalized this weekend. So
we're coming down for the POA meeting, and we've been down there a couple of times, and we come down whenever we can, and we always walk our lot, and spray ourselves down really well when we're down there in the sun where the bugs spray.
And where is your lot?
We are lot 539 on
River
Parkway. So it's 3786 River Parkway Northeast. So not far from Don. We're a little further out. I think we are a quarter of a mile walking from the boat ramp, but it should be really close.
Yeah, you're like around the corner from us because I'm 551 on River Parkway.
Okay.
Your backyard probably hits the backyard of the Turners, who's next door to me. So we're coming. Yeah.
That the whole corner there.
Yeah.
We can almost watch your build from our house. Almost.
Excellent. Good to know.
Yeah.
From my office, if I look around the corner, I can sort of see it.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, we're pretty
That's
excited.
really exciting news on so many fronts. So congratulations. So Dennis, why don't you tell everybody what's going on with you?
Hi everyone, Dennis and Daphne Parks. Daphne is napping, so you got me tonight. So we're for those who are new, we are in Stafford, Virginia, and so we're at lot
Stoughton, you
350.
said?
Stafford.
Oh, Stafford. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just south of you. If you go to Georgetown, and I know where that's at, so if you teach there, yeah. So We are at lot 352, 4045 Bay Colony. We're right in between Robin and Ellen Rubino there. So we are definitely looking forward to coming down. We are waiting for a adjustment with the POA. Once they staked out our place, we were like, that's not going to work. So we had to do some shifting. We're building with Haygood. They've been excellent. Our project manager is James. He's kept us abreast of everything going on. And we'll see you guys this weekend. We'll be down for the POA weekend. And Robin, I know you're going to talk about this, but I thought you mentioned last month that there was something happening Friday evening. So
Yes, so
just want to make
at the clubhouse.
yes.
There's from 4 to 8. It's a community event, so it's kind of like a BYOB. There's Santa. They're going to be lighting a tree. There'll be some snacks and stuff like that. But what we found as we were in many of your positions, anytime we had an opportunity to come to a community event, you meet so many new people, and it's just a great way. It just gets you more excited. If you weren't excited before, it gets you really excited. And you get an opportunity to kind of ask questions of people and just to come and be part of the Bluffs, because all of the things and all of the reasons when we drove around and you get that feeling, meeting the people are what really makes this community so incredibly special. And for those of you guys who have just recently moved in, I know Rosie and Randy and Nadine, and certainly John and Patty, I see you guys all the time, and Karen and John. Once you're here, all those things, and certainly feel free to chime in. All the reasons that we were coming, and you came, and you're like, I can't wait, and then you move in. And we love our houses, but as far as I'm concerned, every time we leave our house, it's the people. And I hear this from so many people moving in, is they love their house, they love the community, but once you start getting out there and meeting your neighbors and meeting everybody else, I think Randy and Nadine, you may be like the old timers here. I think you've been here long, which is really pretty funny. So why don't you share?
That, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny because Nadine is the more social. I mean, this is Nadine. I'm Randy. This is Dexter. People know Nadine in the neighborhood. She knows pretty much everybody, and everyone knows her. Then they know Dexter. Then they know me. Like, oh, you're Nadine's husband, or you're Dexter's daddy, or whatever, because I work full time, so I don't get out as much. But I'm thrilled to hear Nadine say, I've heard her say it several times in the past few months, I really love it here. I'm so happy we did this. It's just kind of a random statement.
I'm so glad that we didn't wait, because our original plan was to maybe buy the property and just sit on it for a few years.
And then run down my retirement countdown timer,
right,
which hasn't started yet.
And then because of COVID, he got the opportunity to work remote. And so we started really thinking about it more seriously, and like, why are we waiting? Why are we still here in Maryland? Our kids are grown and gone.
Right.
Yeah, and
now,
so,
that said, it's still a big leap because we didn't know anyone here, right?
Yeah.
We don't have family in this area.
Yeah.
But we said, let's start again.
This.
And Nadine's 91-year-old mother-in-law, who was a very high-functioning mother, my mother-in-law, Nadine's mother, a very high-functioning 91-year-old. She said, okay, I'll move too, from Maryland.
Right. So she doesn't live with us.
She doesn't live with us, but that was a big jump.
It was huge to move both, us and my mother.
But
down
we have no regrets whatsoever.
Yeah, no,
I do want to pick your brains at some point on what moving company you use, because we're in Maryland now, and that's kind of on my list of things to check out. Like, how do you move? How do you store? Because I doubt that we're closing. Well, we're putting our house on the market in May, hopefully selling really fast, and then we'll have a couple of months of float between selling, being homeless, and then moving into the Bluffs.
So Charles, did you get last month's meeting, the recording from last month's meeting?
I have the link, but I have not looked at it yet.
Okay, so the information about Nadine's mover coincidentally was on there. She was one of our speakers last month. So
I was going to say that send them the link for the last time.
I have it.
Absolutely.
I am a pack rat for email and stuff like that. That's a habit that I have not lost from my working days. So I do have all of that.
The move went very smoothly. They were great to work with, and
yeah, because it was a complicated move because it was a double. I mean, they did 2 pickups, 1 truck, two deliveries.
Yeah, they picked up our stuff and then went to my mother's apartment, senior living apartment, picked up her stuff all in 1 truck, moved us down, dropped off our stuff at here, and then dropped off her stuff at her new senior apartment. Wow. So
you've got all her furniture and she has all yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything went
where it was
exactly
supposed to go.
on schedule.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely watch it. Thank you.
Yeah. And I get
Robin, can you share that information? What is that link?
Eleonora, I will send it to you. I will send you that last month's meeting. Don't worry about it. You'll have that as well. Okay. Perfect. Okay, David and Amy, you want to share what's going on with you guys? There you go.
We can unmute ourselves. Yes.
You can unmute yourselves.
Hi, I'm Amy. This is Dave. We live in Pennsylvania. We are building with Haygood. They should be breaking ground early next year. We'll be on Dockview Court in Phase 5.
Awesome. Are you going to be here for the POA this weekend?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay! So it'll be all fun. Regina.
Good evening.
Hello.
We don't have a lot of progress to report. At the last meeting, we had finished our selections, and we're still awaiting the drawings, the final drawings. We do plan to be in Wilmington this weekend and look forward to seeing everybody and meeting you then.
Awesome. Great. Good to hear. Debbie. I see Debbie. Yay.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Renato.
Hello.
So we're also going to be on Dockview Court. So it's nice to meet all you guys. We're building with Haygood. We're right now RC review. So we're hoping we don't know what to expect with that. But we're hoping to break ground this month sometime and be in next summer. Can't wait.
Terrific. Very exciting. Katie.
I'm building with Legacy. I've signed all my first selections and hope to have my pre-construction meeting next week. And then they tell me breaking ground will be around the 1st of February.
Awesome. Excellent. Let's see. Where I got Rosie. How you doing? Rosie.
Sorry, I had it on mute because my grandson was running around. He's asleep now. No, I'm doing great. Got moved in. Like I said, I was gone for a little while. My mom had been ill, so I was away for 4 or 5 weeks since end of September when I moved in. But yeah, getting settled and getting acclimated, trying to get involved a little bit. Been to a couple of functions and just looking forward to the new year and looking forward to meeting new neighbors and making new memories in the Bluffs.
Awesome. Cool. Melissa.
Good evening, everybody. We've been in for about a month now. Well, actually, no, it's been a little over a month and a half. We closed on October 18th. And we're still trying to figure things out as far as getting settled in the house. I think it's finally, we're finally getting there where now we can start participating in the activities again. I think I was more active in the activities before I moved in. But looking forward to this weekend and all the activities and meeting a bunch of you guys in person.
Awesome. Terrific. Brian.
Short and sweet. Short and sweet. We're the model home on River Parkway Northeast. Can't wait to move in May. This group is very important. I learned a lot from it. If you have any questions, throw them out there. Robin will do her best to get them answered. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Brian. Karen.
Let's see. We came from Virginia. My husband is out putting Christmas lights up, and so he's not able to be here at the meeting tonight. I live right next to Rosie on Flint Rock Road, and we've been here since the beginning of August, and we love it. We finally got our yard in, and that was something that we waited a long time for. And we had to build a wall because of the wetlands around us. So if you have any problems with drainage and need to talk to somebody about that, we're willing to talk to you about that. We love it here. We love all the activities. When we go away to visit our family, we can't wait to get back here. So, and again, you might have heard earlier, I've decided that I'm going to retire just because I like it here so much and I'm tired of working.
Awesome.
Anyway, we'll be again. So if anyone, we're a large blue house on Flint Rock, and it's long, large meaning long. So if you come down Flint Rock, that's where we live. And but anyway, hope everyone has a great night, and we look forward to seeing everyone at the POA meeting. And it will be bigger than you think.
Yes, it will, Karen. Janine, my friend. No puppies tonight. I saw pussycats. I didn't see any puppies.
No, that was Buddy, the little Pomeranian.
Oh, the little Pom? Okay.
Yeah. And Jade was laying on the floor. I was trying to get her to pop up. She didn't cooperate. Anyhow, Todd left. But we're from Jersey, and we're lot 551 River Parkway. We're building with Haygood. And then our house is going to be a model home. So we will not be down till 2026, other than lots of visits. We will not, unfortunately, be at the POA meeting because like 2 weeks later is going to be our pre-drywall walkthrough. So we wanted to save this visit and use it for more exciting visits in the new year, but aim to be for next year. And we know you guys will all give great feedback on it. So, that's about it. But, this group is great and the Zoom meetings are phenomenal and you learn so much. And you wind up feeling like a lot of people. And when I get down there, I'll be like, hey, Robin, hey, Rosie, hear this, and be going back around and coming all and seeing your houses in their finished stages.
Absolutely. John, are you still with us? Are you hanging out there?
Yeah, sorry, I'm multitasking.
No worries.
I had the Nick game on in the background.
Of course.
So I'm a New Yorker. You can't take it out of me. So I have to watch my Knicks. But nothing really, I'm kind of like hearing so many people come into this meeting. How are they going to fit everybody in that ballroom?
The walls move.
Really?
There's a movable wall.
Oh, okay. That's got to be a big room.
So for those who haven't been to the POA meeting before, at the Ballast, we sit at tables and whatever, but that ballroom expands based upon the number of people.
Okay. There's going to be a lot of people there. Should be fun.
It definitely be fun. And for those of you, if it's your first meeting, you learn a lot, you hear a lot. If you have any specific questions that you want answered, and you can certainly talk to me about how to get that right. Doug did, just so that everybody understands, it doesn't become a question answer at the end of the meeting. So if you read any of the things, if you have questions, very specific questions that you feel that you want answered, Doug will actually give you a call back. He's the developer. But he doesn't take questions at the meeting. So just for those who haven't come, a lot of people feel that that there'll be a Q&A at the end. And I just want to prepare everybody for that. But it's really great to hear it. For those who aren't going to be coming, you will be getting like an outline of everything that had happened. But it's really great to hear the other stuff that goes on in between. So I'll make sure, like I did last year, to take a bunch of notes that perhaps might not be in there. I'm not able to record it, and I'm not able to Zoom it. Evidently, I think it's a legal thing, because there's information. So I do the best that I can to make sure that I get all the information. But certainly, will it happen when you get your bill? Like, I think it's like February. Randy and John, isn't it around February when they send out the, for your dues and everything else? There's a full outline of all of the information, all the slides. You'll get pictures of all of the slides during the POA meeting as well. Okay, so that's the skinny on that. And when I forgot. There's one person I forgot. I'm looking. Hey, Michael, you want to tell us what's going on in your life?
Sure. So as of today, Robin and I are no longer licensed in the state of New York to drive. We don't have our licenses anymore. We have North Carolina licenses. Got them today. We went all the way to the DMV. So I'll just have to share this with you. When we wanted to get our licenses back in September, you can go to the DMV, but you might not be able to get in. They're so backed up, you have to have an appointment. So we decided, okay, well, we'll make an appointment. It was a 90-day wait for our appointments. We made those appointments in September, and we had to find a place up in Jacksonville, which is an hour and 15 minutes from here. That's where we had our appointment. So we loaded up all of our documentation. Anybody that hasn't done this yet, call Robin and I. We'll give you all the ins and outs of what documentation you will need. And you better dig out your social security card and your birth certificate, even though you think that you would never need them again. But you will need them again. But anyway, we studied for the test. They give you a test on all the signage and everything for people like John Walter that probably already has his, and Randy and Nadine, But we studied our signs, and Robin and I got 100% on our sign test today, right? Good for us. And so now we are licensed in the state of North Carolina. And so that's step number one. And then, of course, step number two is you get your insurance, and step number three is you get your new plates for your car. So we finished step number one, and step number two will be next week. So yay for us.
Yeah, that's the first step of making it really real.
Yeah.
Losing we'll have to see about my license plate. I've had my license plate for a really long time. People know me by my license plate all over New York. So we're going to try. We're gonna try to see what we can do. But it was really interesting. Everybody there was really nice and not cranky. So coming from from the New York area, where every time you deal with that, I don't know, John, did you find that as well?
Yeah, definitely. By the way, Robin, I did this, and it's probably not 100% legal, but I had vanity plates on my Mustang, and I only sent one back.
I think I only have one plate, Michael, don't I?
Oh, you have two.
No,
I have two?
You have two. You have two.
I have two?
Yeah, I sent one back. So you could do the same thing.
Yeah.
John,
yeah.
When they come knocking on my door looking for you, John, am I giving you away or not?
I didn't. Yeah, we had Maryland tags. I had NASA tags. I didn't send them back, and we put one on our golf cart. So
there you go.
Now I can find my golf cart all the time.
See, Michael, I told you. So I told you these guys would figure out a way for me to at least save one of my.
Robin, they're criminals.
No, we're not.
No.
Each and every one of you. I'm taking notes here.
We're not going to drive down here to get us.
Guys, this is being recorded.
I think Morty just wants to
And there's another puppy. We love to see our puppies here.
Oh, well, who's that puppy?
Who is that puppy who's giving you all that love?
She's our daughter's dog, and she is very concerned with all the illicit activities she's doing.
It's okay. It's okay.
That, right? That's not going to be you.
No, it's all good.
You don't look good behind bars.
Is that the same puppy that was laying on the couch? Like,
Yes.
oh, she just got up and.
She's
all
just
right.
moving around.
So I'm
Michael.
it's all good. Brian, you had asked a couple of questions. I don't know if I answered all of them at the beginning of the meeting.
Well, the one was the Uber, the other was the package delivery.
Okay,
But now I got another question for Michael.
Yeah.
Because did they tell you had to send your plates back?
Oh, we haven't dealt with that yet.
We haven't gotten there yet.
The reason why I say that is my daughter moved down to North Carolina. We did everything in one day. She showed up. We sat there for 2 hours. She got her license, which she didn't say anything about identifying any signage, which I wonder if it's because we're older. One. Two, and then we walked down to the DMV. They gave her a new license plate. And she said, "What do I do with the old one?" I said, "Throw it away."
Yeah. So Brian, we were an hour and 15 minutes from here, and we were at a facility that doesn't do plates. They did all these other things, these other services, but they didn't do license plates. And they told us, "Oh, if you want a license plate, here's another location nearby." And we said, "No, we're not doing that today. We're going to do it back in wherever, Charlotte or Leland, wherever there's Charlotte. Yeah, we'll do it somewhere closer." So we're not there yet. We'll get to step 2 and 3 next week.
So the one in Wilmington goes really fast.
Which one?
Robin and Michael, don't throw away your plates, because in New York State, in order to get your insurance to end, right? So you're going to get insurance down here, which is going to be like half of the insurance up there. In order to get a refund, you need to show a receipt that you sent in the plate. Otherwise, they won't end your policy up in New York.
All right. Well,
that's
do what we have to do.
We're working on it. So as far as the packages, I know that people have been seeing all this information. Until you have actually witnessed a mail delivery here on multiple occasions, it is a miracle. I mean, these guys and women work really, really hard. As far as the packages are concerned, I'm not 100% sure what the solution is going to be for all of this. I think that they're doing the best that they can. I know sometimes the other thing that happens, I've gotten notifications that a package has been delivered, like from Amazon, and then I freak out on Amazon because you're saying that my packages are here. I don't have any packages. Where are they? And there was a misnotification, and it shows up 2 days later. So some of that stuff is also happening, I think, from it's being marked as delivered, because I've had it happen 3 times to me already, where it was marked as delivered from different companies, and it was not.
See, but Robin, there's a difference between USPS and UPS.
Right.
So our experience, and we had some UPS packages, I have to say, knock on wood, Robin and I have had a very good experience so far with anything that comes to our door that's UPS. They've never delivered anything to us that is not ours, and vice versa. USPS, once again, I think, Robin, you and I are very fortunate because we read all the posts on Facebook about people that don't get their packages, or they're now delivering packages to other people because it showed up in their mailbox. So thankfully, we haven't had that. But Brian, I 100% hear what you're saying, and I don't know what the solution is. People put out something on Facebook today about let's all go contact the post office. That may be a solution. I don't know if it's going to get us anywhere, but maybe that's a solution, is contacting the postmaster.
Well, what's also interesting, and this is from reading the Leland community Facebook pages, it's not obviously just in the Bluffs, Amazon in general. So I'm like, do you keep a Prime membership? Because nobody's getting their packages in the Prime window, it seems. But we had looked up, like New Jersey has 19 Amazon distribution center. North Carolina has 9 for the entire state.
So Melissa
just, I saw it pop up that they're building another one. So it just seems with the influx of, because when USPS delivers my Amazon packages, I do get them, but there's definitely a different level of delivery quality than when Amazon delivers it.
Karen, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll say that we've had one screw up and we had the same last name as somebody else, and that's the only error we've had. And with my Amazon, I get a lot of those Amazons delivered right to my front porch. And it's always on schedule. It's never late.
Those are the big packages, right?
Oh, that's so John Walter, you might be getting me and Todd's stuff when we finally get down there.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to make friends with the people who have,
it's funny because our next door neighbor is Walker. And I'm like, great. We're just, between Walter and Walker, it's just going to be,
Yeah. I mean, we've seen a lot of reports of, package issues, but it's a big enough neighborhood that we're going to have that. We've been here since February. We've had exactly one misdelivered UPS package. A package came to us that was to 9448 Fallen Pair. We're 9148. And the proper recipient was on the Bluffs page, and I said, "Hey, got your package. You want to pick it up, or I'll bring it to you." And I got to meet a new neighbor. So that was one out of all that. And then
a couple of delayed things.
Yeah, some things were delayed, but this time of year you're not going to get your prime window. It's just not going to happen. There's so many things out there.
Absolutely,
it's not quite as dire as it seems from the outside.
Yeah, and Walmart's not very good about delivery. They actually kind of contract out their delivery stuff. If you order things, they're very fast, but they're not reliable. So.
Well, it was really interesting. I ordered a pair of sneakers for Michael from Zappos, and got a delivery today. It was a UPS delivery, and it was an Amazon package. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know what I ordered. This is really big. It may not be mine. And I looked at it. It was actually his sneakers. So from Zappos, they must have sent them through Amazon, but it did come UPS. So sometimes you never know. So we'll hopefully by the time many of you get here, it'll get better. There's a lot of mail. These mail guys work really, really hard. Their trucks are very, very full.
Well, another thing, Robin, for those of you that aren't living here yet, like Eleonora and Debbie, I don't think you're here yet, right? And a few of you, the mail doesn't come early in the day. The mail comes at the very end of the day. I mean, sometimes you'll go back to the mailbox area at 6 o'clock. They're still delivering the mail. And now it's not daylight savings time anymore. It's black. It's pitch black there with a little bit of lighting. I don't know how these guys deliver the mail. Maybe that's part of the problem, is that they can't see what's going on with reading address labels and so forth. But the mail does not come early. You have to go back to the mailbox either the next morning or at the end of the day.
It's really kind of interesting. Like after dinner, when it's still during daylight savings time, I don't know whether there's like this zombie apocalypse. Everyone goes out for a walk after dinner. Don, but that's
golf cart apocalypse.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable because all of a sudden you'll go, everyone's walking their dogs, and the weather's cooling off, and everybody's walking to the mailboxes, and it's the evening Constitution, so it's kind of a cool way to see everybody walking around. So Brian, the other question was about the Ubers. So when you guys got your codes for the front gate, one of the things that they also sent you, whether you saw it or not, is a guest code. It should be a 3-digit code that has nothing to do with the code that you chose for your gate code, which you would remember. And that 3-digit code is a guest code that you're able to give to your guests. And what will happen is when they put that code in, it will ring your phone. And then you'll have the ability to press, I think it's pound or whatever, and you can let a guest in. So that's the way it's supposed to work if the gate staff is not there when you get your Uber. So that is, and that's also for any guests that you have that's coming after hours where there is nobody there. It's also a really good idea if you are having company to give a call to the gatehouse, and the gatehouse is also all that information is in the portal as well, and just let them know, oh, we have friends coming in, so and so is coming in. And then this way, when they come, they don't have to call you and say, is it okay? And everything else. They already know, and they whisk them right in. And it's really cool for your friends because they get to oh, welcome. We already knew that you were coming, go right in. Okay. In answer to any of the, speaking about the gates and everything else, I don't know if you were on Facebook today and you saw there was an exchange about what's going on with beeper, with the clickers and the gate changes and everything else. There will not be a new type of gate. The gates are staying the same. The only things that are changing are the ways that you're going to be able to get in. There are, if you really, really, really still want one of their remotes, they are available if you really want it, but they are full price, and I think they're like $55 or whatever. And the new system, which is going to be a sticker on your headlight, a little teeny tiny sticker, is imminent. As far as I heard today, it's coming sooner than later. So that's the story with that. But yeah, that guest code is really important, like as you said, for an Uber, to be able to have that guest code, and then they will call you. It's the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah,
and they should have given us a 3-digit code when we signed up for the gate code, because
when they sent you the email, there was, and so I had no recollection of what, I couldn't find the email. Just call the gatehouse or email the gatehouse, and they'll tell you what your guest code is.
Okay.
We went through that a couple of weeks ago when we were down there, and the gatekeeper, the guy at the gatehouse, gave us our 3-digit code then, and we gave him the phone number that we want that tied to. And you put up the 3-digit code in there. We tested it. You put the 3-digit code in there. It rings your phone. You press 9 on your phone, and it lets you in.
Okay, cool.
So that hopefully should help.
So
you don't ever want to give out your code.
Yeah, no.
Is the gatehouse 24/7?
No, it's not. I think they're done at 5. Is it 5 or 6? Is it 5, Nadine? Is it 5? Okay.
Yeah, sometimes they're there till 5:30, but in general it's 5. But that guest code, if you know what it is, and I don't know what ours is. Someone knows what ours is, because I've gotten random calls from someone who knows what my code is, but they probably don't know it's attached to me. Yeah, that works all the time.
No, and it's also
24/7.
Yeah, it's also a good thing if you have somebody that comes often. So like my Julia, who is the interior designer who's here, she has my guest code. So this way, when she comes, depending upon coming in and out of the community, she doesn't have to go through the gate, because there's such a long line. I mean, if anybody's ever visited St. James, I mean, Mike, we've been on the line for 10 minutes just to get
terrible. St. James is terrible. At least the time
to get
we've
through
been
the
there.
gate, through the gate.
It could take 10, 15 minutes to get through the gate.
Yeah, so it hopefully will be a little bit easier with everything else going on.
Well, Kim and I came in, it was Tuesday, and the 3 cars behind me just drove in right behind me with using my code, if you will.
And it's happened, and we've had this conversation multiple times. It does happen.
You know what happened? Wait, can I jump in? I'll tell you what does happen, Brian, is that when I pull up to the little keypad and I start to reach out my arm, there's somebody behind me that has a clicker. And so before I even push the button in, they're sitting behind me and they've opened up the gate for me and for themselves. So that's happened many times also.
Yeah.
So you haven't experienced that one yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We do that. We've done that ourselves.
There you go, Karen.
Yep. I was raised a Catholic.
If it was you behind me, thank you.
If I'd known it was you, Michael, I wouldn't have opened it.
Well, there you go. Well,
Yeah, I know Randy.
that's I'm going to have to change my plates this way. This way you won't know whether it's me or not.
There's that yada
right.
woman.
There
Yada
you go.
woman.
No, it's all good. Now there's a lot of really great stuff going on. The clubhouse should be, I think, a soft open in March, and then the full open in April. All of these things will be talking about, be going on. They'll be talking about it. And I think they're still in the process of applying for the liquor license. There will be somebody running the restaurant. It's going to be very exciting. I know that a lot of questions have been asked about the workout equipment, the gym equipment, and Terrence has been working diligently and did a phenomenal job on the research for that. So hopefully they'll be talking about that at the POA meeting, and you'll get notes from all of that. So if you have any questions, certainly feel free to reach out. Open up the floor to questions. Anybody have any major questions that weren't answered tonight?
I did have a question. I think it was for Dennis. If you're willing to share, I think you had said that you were kind of not back to square one, but repositioning your lot or repositioning your house on the lot. Our lot's just being staked out this week, so we're going to be hitting up or getting together with our builder and all that. What kind of things did you notice? What kind of things should we look out for as we're going down that road, since it's top of mind for you?
Yeah, so your situation might not be like ours. Our lot is a little bit unique. We have kind of easements and wetlands on both sides, and so we the left side, we ended up having to build up and put. You hear a lot of people talking about having to put a retaining wall in, and that's what we're going to end up having to do. Just so we'll have the space that we want around the house, and it won't be so close to the uh, to the wetlands and to the easements and stuff like that. So just kind of repositioning things, since it is once that foundation is laid, it's laid. So
Yeah.
I'd say we literally the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, once they had the stakes in the ground, they sent us pictures. We were like, we want to see it. So we drove 5 hours down to actually walk the ground, and like, yeah, no, let's make a change, right? So they're working on redoing the drawings, submitting that to the POA, and hopefully that'll be approved pretty quick. You will. Best way I can describe it is this: is that until they break ground, you just don't know. Just
Yeah.
be prepared and be patient. The bluffs is unique, but just about every lot has a different thing you got to work with. So just be prepared and be patient is all I can say.
Karen, you had a similar issue going on too, didn't you, with your build?
Yeah, so we had wetlands on both sides in the backyard, and also we had a creek in the back. And so we really didn't see a lot of our issues until we got down here and the house was completely built. Because when they cleared the land, they didn't clear all the woodlands up to the line that they should have, the wetland line. And so none of that, there's a lot of stuff that wasn't cleared, so we couldn't see the problems with the wetland. So we ended up having them push it, get rid of all the extra trees, and then we were able to see the wetland area, and then we put the retaining wall. And it's like the mother of all retaining walls. So you might want to come by our house and walk the backyard, and my husband can explain what we did and why we did it.
Okay.
Now, Nadine, as you're sitting there with that Cheshire grin on your face, would you like to share what happened with your new retaining wall?
Yeah, go ahead. We paid for one. We had one.
Well, we're on the river. I call it the last house on the left on Fallen Pear. You just take Fallen Pear until you run out of Fallen Parent. It runs into River Park. For the last house on the left, they call this neighborhood the Bluffs. We're the Bluff, right? It's like a 20-foot sheer drop down to the water in the back. So we had one retaining wall put in after the house was built. There's kind of a bit of a ravine, natural drainage area. And that helped to square off our backyard, gave us more space. So we then built the fence right along that, and it really gave us a lot more usable area in the backyard. That was done by Dirt Nerds. I think Keith and Karen, they did yours as well.
Yes. Yeah, good job.
And
excellent
yeah,
work.
I definitely, if you're patient to wait for them to come, they do excellent work at a good price.
The busy man.
But then with our favorite storm, Debbie, we had lots of rain, and leading up to Debbie, we had lots of rain. The water table raised, the ground was saturated, and then Debbie blew through, and we had drainage we did not realize. Both lots adjacent to ours were draining water across our backyard, and our house was draining water across a specific spot in our backyard, and a large section of the hillside collapsed and undermined our fence that had been put in. And you could see the root ball of a very large pine tree that's right along the bluff. So like, oh, we got a problem here. Haygood, really, I don't think they did anything wrong, but Haygood, one of the things they do is they tunnel, or they bury all the downspouts to the outside and bring them out to the outside edge of the lot to drain back or forward. One of our downspouts was draining across the property line and dropping across the hill. So that one was tunneled all the way out to the river. So that now made 3 pipes, I guess, going to the river, because we had a French drain that was put in with the original retaining wall, plus that one. And the 3rd pipe comes from a new retaining wall that was just put in. So we had Doug, the developer, and Haygood, the builder, and us went and shared the cost equally to put in a 2nd retaining wall to fix that issue. And that's hopefully that's a permanent fix. But yeah, that was a very stressful test case. That's the kind of storm you don't expect.
Yeah, how many inches did we get between
I think we had 19 inches of rain with that one event, and that was after the ground was saturated.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, so that we've had heavy rain since then and haven't seen any issue at all.
Yeah, a lot of that.
It wasn't 19 inches, but it's been tested well, and I think we have a good permanent solution.
Absolutely. Now, Melissa and John, I know you guys. Did you know about the retaining wall before you started building or after?
Yeah, no, well, that was an add-on afterwards. Once the landscaper came in and said the slope was a little bit too steep to manage.
He originally thought he could, but I guess the POA got involved, took a look at it, and said, no, we had to build a rather expensive retaining wall.
But as far as going back to the original question with the siting of the house, just know you have flexibility. The builders have a tendency to just put it smack dab, put your house, stake it out right in the middle of your lot. And so when you come down and walk your lot, based on even what Dennis, his experience has been with the water, for us, we decided to move our house actually further to the right on our lot, because we had some really beautiful chestnut trees. Chestnut, not walnut. Yeah, chestnut trees on one side that we wanted to save. And they were going to have to cut them down if they put the house right in the middle of the lot. Whereas on the opposite side, there was these not so nice trees. They're called gum trees. Sweet gum trees. So if you don't know what those are, you'll find out. And those have a tendency to be messy.
They snap in the high winds.
They snap in high winds. So by moving the house over, we got them to take down some of those not so nice trees and preserve the nicer trees. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're looking at your lot and how the house is staked out. That you got some flexibility.
We did the same thing with the driveway because we had a fire hydrant in the front yard, so we were trying to figure out which side of the driveway, which side of the fire hydrant it would go on, and we had a lot of flexibility. We went through like 3 different plans before they approved, plan they liked. So you have a lot of flexibility.
John,
I think the big takeaway really is if you have the opportunity to actually walk the lot between the time that it's staked and the time that they put the footers in, it's well worth coming down and taking a look and making sure you're comfortable before those footers go in, because then it's too late.
Yep.
I don't know to what degree they're doing it, but they told us that they'd be staking the lot on Thursday and we're coming down on Saturday. So
perfect timing.
Actually see something.
John, did you have any issues with you? Because I know you have water behind you too.
We didn't have any real issues, but on the side of our lot, there's a natural spring. So that actually it flows, believe it or not. Not a lot, but it flows. So we built, the Dirt Nerd built a retaining wall for us just to kind of make sure that, we're not going to lose dirt there. So, it was another expensive wall, but I think in the end, I think it's good. I like the fact that kind of levels out the backyard a little bit. But in the far back where I think that there's like I don't want to say a pond, but it's like it's like, yeah, I guess it is a pond. It's the beaver dam pond, and that actually flows a little bit, but I haven't really seen that rise too much. Even with the 19 inches of rain that we got, it kind of flowed out, I guess. So we didn't really have any issues there. So.
All right, good.
And is your lot or the lots that need retaining walls, they're not in those AE flood zones? They're just subject to too much of a slope, or are they in flood zones?
My property's not in a flood zone. I think they call it Zone Z or something like that.
X.
X or Z or whatever it is, but we're definitely not in a flood zone because you'd know about it because you probably wouldn't be hard to get insurance.
On your topography, yeah.
Yeah, and ironically, we're not in a flood zone either.
Even though we're on the river.
Right.
We're one of the highest points in the neighborhood. Even.
David, did you have a question?
That the lot across the street from us will never get sold because it is 80 to 90% AE flood zone.
Really?
That makes
directly across. If you ever build, you have no river view, but if they don't build on it, we have a great river view.
Yeah, that really constrains the building box. If you have AE coming in on the back side of it, you don't have much area to build on.
The county flood zone maps, and it's really like a big U shape that goes almost to the road. And I can't see how anybody's ever going to build on that lot. But I've been wrong so many times in my life. Somebody will build it.
Now there's a lot of different areas. People say, hey, now they'll never. We have a wonky property right by our lot. We just everyone keeps saying there's nobody. No one's ever going to build there. Doug keeps saying somebody will. Somebody will. David, did you have a question about something? Did you want to make a comment on something?
No, actually, Amy was talking with me when I was trying to listen, so I couldn't hear the question. So I put my finger up so she would stop talking to me.
Okay. All right. So you'll have to watch the recording. So I know that it's getting a little bit late. Does anybody have anything else that they want to bring up? Anything that they want to share? Anything?
I just have a quick question.
Sure, Debbie.
So did anybody put in a water softener or that reverse osmosis system? I don't know if the water treatment plant up there has put it in yet.
We are not, it has not come in yet. they keep talking about it and talking about it. Melissa, do you have a little bit more information on that? I think you had some info on that.
I actually don't know what the date is that they're putting that reverse osmosis.
It's being built, right?
Yeah, I think it's being built. The other water treatment plant, the H2Go, they are on the reverse osmosis, but just like the H2Go customers, we get our water from the Cape Fear, which is significantly polluted. But they do monitor the water quality very, very closely. And in fact, on December 4th, they issued a boil order because there was a problem with the pressure, I think, in their system. And they said it would potentially cause bacteria to enter into the system. But that boil order was released on December 5th. So it's something that was a very short-term issue. They put out a public notice and they fixed the issue. And you can get on their notification. Like if you go to the Brunswick Utilities, the water, you can actually sign up for notifications for issues. And they send out regular reports on water quality and things of that nature. So, and we don't, to answer your question, Debbie, we do not have a reverse osmosis system. What I think someone had moved into the community several months before us, and he actually, water quality was in his area of expertise. And so he did a ton of research on the quality of the water and the system and all that kind of stuff. And he said the only thing that's really needed is just some type of a charcoal, filter. So the filter you have in your refrigerator,
Right.
Filter, Brita filter, something like that. That's all you really need. Yeah. You can definitely smell the chlorine. It's pretty heavily chlorinated, the water.
Yeah, we have the H2Go here because we're in Brunswick Forest right now, and you can't drink the tap water. It's just
Really?
Oh, really?
yeah. It's very chlorinated. So we just take it from the refrigerator or the Brita.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. Anybody else? Well, I'm hoping to see everybody again. I'm sorry. Sorry, Gina.
I was just going to ask you if you could post on this link a list of all the Facebook pages in the Bluffs. I'm a member of one, but I don't. You're talking about things I haven't seen on Facebook.
Okay, so living in the Bluffs. So living in the Bluffs on Facebook is, I think, probably that is open to only Bluffs resident, only Bluffs, anybody that has a lot. So it's not a public page. So it has to be approved. So if you go in there and you ask, and that's definitely a place where a lot of that information will be found. So it's just make sure it's living in the Bluffs. You'll see it's a private group.
So Rob, they also, I'm looking at my phone, there's also Bluffs Stuff, which people use to sell things. And there's also
Bluffs Pets.
Bluffs Pets.
Bluffs Pets.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. There may be one or two more.
And Bragg.
Bragg, yeah. So, but a lot of that information is duplicated in some of the other areas. The other thing, Regina, is a lot of the information you may be hearing about is coming through some of the Team Reach groups. So you'll, if you're not on Team Reach, you can definitely give me a call and I'll walk you through Team Reach. Anybody that doesn't know, Team Reach is it's an app for your phone, and that's where you're going to find the information about all the different groups. So just give me a call and I'm happy to walk you through all of that. It makes it really easy. Okay.
So if anybody wants it, I tossed in a link for the Northwest Water Treatment Plant webpage. They say it's 78% complete and expecting substantial completion by the end of 2024. I think I looked at this a while back because we have a PFAS line going in for our refrigerator, so I can do reverse osmosis just to that if I need to. But I think they said they're expecting our area to be serviced. Something like that. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I recall. But the link's in the chat.
Last month, or meeting, you were saying how the water was ripping up your hair. Yes, no?
Who was saying that?
Last month, when you had moved in, you said the water was not being very nice to your hair.
No, it wasn't being very nice to the color. My hair is
Okay.
enjoying the water. It's not liking my color is, I'm going through my color faster.
Do you think that's because of the amount of chlorine that's in the water?
Maybe I'm just getting grayer faster. and that is definitely not, and again, you know,
but Michael doesn't have the issue, does he?
No, but I will tell you one of the most devastating situations about getting our new licenses today is how much how much we've aged since the pictures from 20 something years ago when we got, the last pictures that had to be taken. So it was definitely a rude awakening. I'm hoping that after living here for a while, I will go backwards. That all this relaxation, all this stuff is just, it is an unforgiving photograph. That's the only thing I will tell you. So
poor Nadine had to give up her glamour shot photograph.
My
from
photo
Maryland.
from my Maryland was so
Oh.
long ago because I think during the renewal period during COVID, they just let you keep your previous picture. So my picture was so
She had
old.
an amazing.
It was like a glamour shot compared to the picture I got taken here in North
Mug shot.
Carolina. Oh my God, it looks so bad.
Glamour shot to mug shot, just like that.
Well, and the other thing I want to say is when we had our reverse osmosis system put in only on our drinking taps and ice machine taps, the Culligan guy told us that once the main system gets put up and running, the water has a tendency to be very hard that comes out of those systems. So you may need a water softener, but because we're not moving in until May, he said we'll explore it at that point. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, no, we'd had a loop. Our salesperson told us to get for the softener because she was worried about my hair. But I'm so flattered that everybody is so concerned about my hair. Michael, of course, is happy to take donations for the upkeep of this mane of stuff that's on top of my head. But hey, listen, you got to deal with what you got to deal with. But it's all good, and we'll keep you. Any information that you guys have, please certainly keep us posted. And if there's anything you want me to put out to the group, I'm happy to do so. But I know that it's getting late. I just want everybody to raise a glass of whatever you have. And hopefully I'll see many of you this weekend. And so appreciative and so thankful for all of you. May the end of this year bring you joy and love. May 2025 bring many of you to your new homes and to our community. We're happy to have you here. And just stay well, stay happy, hug all your family, and hopefully we'll get a chance to hug most of you very early, if not during the open house this weekend. Certainly, whenever you're in the community, please stop by. Please knock on our door. We always love seeing everybody. Ellen and her husband took a drive down. I just happened to have been walking and they were riding around. So, drive by, honk your horn. We're happy to say hello to everybody and just stay safe, stay healthy. And welcome to being a Bluffalo. Cheers, cheers.
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 Cheers. Yeah, cheers to you all.
Have a good night,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas.
Good night.
Good night.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.